going to get a second chance in the game.
Hello, coaches. My name is Slade Singleton. I'm previously the offensive coordinator at Madison High School in Marshall, North Carolina. Just taking a job at Chase High School in Forest City, North Carolina. We're going to work on trying to turn around a struggling program there, so I'm excited to get started. But today we're going to talk a little bit about the spread no-huddle quarterback run game. The reason we like the spread offense and the running game of the quarterback is for a lot of times the way defenses align, we can get +1 in the box. Different things we can do is we can formation you to get that +1, and also it puts a lot of pressure on the defense when we go +1 in the box. When you have to try to get a running quarterback or defend a running quarterback, it makes things a little bit more pressure on the defense, and we're able to do some things in the box and outside on the perimeter. All right, we're going to talk a little bit about our stats for the past few years. You can say where we started at in 2014. We were more of a passing team there. So basically we take our offense and we adapt it to whoever we have at the cue. If he's more of a thrower, then obviously we're going to have more passing game stuff in and things like that. But you can tell 2014, 2,500 passing, 1,200 pretty much rushing. 15 we went up in passing a little bit. And rushing was still about the same. 16 is where we really turned the corner as far as passing and rushing. We were able to get a lot of things that way because of our quarterback being so much a runner. We were able to get more in the passing game and also in the run game. Last year, previous year, rushing-wise, we really took off. Quarterback we had was a young kid, played safety the year before, never played any offense, so we turned him into a quarterback, and he was more of a runner, so obviously our rushing yards were more than passing. I like to do this. I like to break it down by touchdowns by year. In 2014, we had 20 rushing touchdowns and 17 passing. Obviously, we had more passing yards, but we ended up with more rushing touchdowns. Now, a lot of that has to do because we were spreading people out, throwing the ball around, being able to get things we wanted in the box, especially like in the red zone and things like that. We spread people out. 2015, we were even, 16 and 16. So that's 16 through the air, 16 on the ground. That's pretty much balanced as far as touchdowns on the ground and in the air. 2016, we got 28 rushing touchdowns to 15 passing. So again, there we really took off, as far as running the ball. And then you move on to 2017, 37 rushing, 10 passing. Obviously, we were a heavy rush team. With the quarterback and the tailback, we were able to do a lot of things in the run game, and also we threw the ball quite a bit as far as RPO wise and things like that, and we'll talk about that as we go through the presentation. Total offense, 2014 when we started basically doing what we were doing, spreading people out, becoming a spread team. You got 3,600 yards, 37 touchdowns. 2015, 3,500 yards, 32 touchdowns. 2016, again, we kind of turned the corner with the running quarterback, the mobile quarterback. We went to 4,400 yards and 43 touchdowns. And last year, again, another mobile type quarterback, a kid that gave us a lot in the box when we got the +1, could stick his nose in there and do some things. It takes a special kid to do that at quarterback. He's going to take a beating. He knows he's going to take some hits. We try to limit those best we can by the way we run him and run the football with him, as far as on the perimeter and get him outside. We run a little power and stuff. And we'll get to that. But 4,100 yards as far as total offense and 45 touchdowns. Quarterback accounted for 2,608 yards and 26 touchdowns. That stat's actually in 2016. The kid was all conference kid at quarterback, so special kid. Last year, looking at the slide here. Clark Gray never played quarterback at all. We took him he started as a safety. His sophomore year, turned him into quarterback, and this is his stats for pretty much what he did. 1,281 passing, 26 total touchdowns. He averaged 6.9 yards per carry with 16 rushing TDs. What I like about this is our tailback also, he had 192 attempts for 1,200 yards. Those are career yards for him. And also he averaged 109.7 yards per game and also had 16 touchdowns. So we were even with the tailback and the quarterback. So we mixed it up pretty well as far as sharing carries with the quarterback. Going to talk a little bit about our philosophy and what we think. We're a spread 'em and shred 'em team, and I got that from a coach in Georgia, Coach Timmerman. I'm going to throw him a shout out here because he sent me some things, and I love a little bit of their philosophy and the way he looks at running his offense and things like that. So I like this quote by Michael Leach. It says, "A good offense has the ability to attack as much of the field as possible with as many people as possible." So basically that's what we want to do. We want to spread you out, being able to attack all areas of the field, whether it's the perimeter, vertical shots, anything we can do, but we're going to make you cover the whole field. If we got to run you to sideline, that's what we're going to do. Going in a little bit to the philosophy as we continue. I'm not going to go through a lot of this. I'll hit on some points. The screen will tell you pretty much all about it. The use of multiple spread formations to force the defense to spread the field, therefore limiting the number of defenders that are in the box to allow our run game to be more explosive. So again, we talked about that. That's formation in people, spreading people out, making you empty the box. And obviously if you don't empty the box, then we're going to take what you give us out on the perimeter and in the pass game. Use of base simple run blocking and pass protection schemes so that the linemen pretty much get good at their craft. We want them to be pretty aggressive. We want them to do some things, and we want this lineman to get out and just play freely. It's basically what we want. We don't want to load them down with a lot of thinking and things that, if they're thinking, they're slow. So we want them to be able to move and play at a fast pace. Playing at the fastest tempo possible with changes of pace mixed in to disrupt defense communication and substitutions to force the defense to play a base scheme. We feel if we can put you in a base scheme, then we have a chance. If we go fast enough, you can't sub, you can't do things you want to do. If I can get you to play base, I feel like we have a good chance to be successful. We take what the defense gives us. We'll take what they give us. We use RPOs and package plays to take advantage of the best option. So, if we catch a backside linebacker, he's trying to scrape over the top, he's trying to get in, we're going to read him on the backside and throw him behind his ear hole and things like that. Quick, simple throws and quick, simple read progression that at the high school level quarterback with an average arm can make. Okay, so not every quarterback can throw that thing 70 yards, 60 yards on a dime. So we're gonna work our quick game. We're gonna give him easy reads, and we're gonna be able to throw quick game, screen game very well. We'll be able to take our vertical shots, but what we're gonna do is we're gonna be able to make sure that he can throw that easy, quick game. We're gonna stretch the defense vertically, horizontally, to open up short passing game and run game. All right, the attitude of our offense is based on players, formations, and plays. We will be highly explosive offense by using a hurry up, no huddle tempo. All right, so we want to be able to go fast. In the past 3 years, we've clocked it. We've been able to snap the ball every 15 seconds. Now, that is if the official sets the ball and gets off the ball. We all know that. Sometimes they're a little slower, and we got to give them a little help, and hopefully they can help us out a little bit. But we try to snap it every 15 seconds when we're in NASCAR tempo. We will be highly explosive again. We're talking about hurry up. We will force the defense to cover the whole field and run to the football. Okay, so we're trying to get it to the perimeter. We're trying to get it. Always going to make you run. All right, we want to run your linemen to death. Your D linemen, we want them to be tired by halftime. And if we can do that, I think we're successful. We have a chance. We'll have an explosive, exciting run attack, which we're going to talk about. We'll live by the run, but we'll do whatever it takes to set up the pass. Okay, so if we're running the ball, we're able to throw. All right, but if we've got to throw the ball to set up the run, that's what we'll do. We work both ways. We will throw high percentage passes with an emphasis on quick game and screens. We talked about that. So that's basically how our offense philosophy works and the attitude of our offense. Again, we're going to look at it a little bit. Here's a little bit more. We will use RPOs and package plays to put in the defense in conflict to make sure we always have the best option to get our athletes the ball in space. All right, that's the whole deal. That's where football has gone to, is getting your athletes the ball in space. What's the hardest thing to do? Tackle in space. So that's what we want to do. If it's a bubble screen, an owl screen, just to get the ball out, and we treat that kind of like an extension of our run game. So if we're throwing the bubble, it's like sweep. But we want to get a ball out there. We want to make sure that we give our kids a chance. If we can put you one-on-one with somebody, that's our goal. We will eliminate self-inflicted wounds. We all know penalties and turnovers will beat you. We try to limit those. And the more we can limit those, the better off we'll be. We'll always win one-on-one matchups. So if we take a shot on the outside, we've got to be able to win. Our receivers are taught you've got to be able to win on the outside. We'll always win first down. We want 4 or more yards on first down. If we can get 4 or more yards on first down and play in front of the chains and not behind, we feel like we can be successful. We'll always win the fourth quarter. That's the deal. If we're going to be an up-tempo, no-huddle team, we've got to make sure that we're always in shape. So that starts now in the weight room. That starts in the summer. We will be the best in-shape team on Friday night. I mean, it's kind of like basketball on grass for us. We're going to run a fast break. We're going to try to wear you down and give ourselves a chance in the fourth quarter. All right, so I'm not going to go into a little bit of all this stuff as far as tempo and communication. Everybody has the way they tempo in communication, but it gives you a little idea of what we do. We will talk a little about signals. All formation plays will be signal to quarterback, skill position players who will be looking to the sideline as soon as the previous play is blown dead. What I mean by that is, Coach, we don't want to do a lot of celebrating. Our players, we don't want to go celebrate after we make a big play. We want to get to the ball and get ready to run the next play. Again, that forces the defense to line up in a base, not be able to adjust, so that's why we do that. This just gives you a little example. You can read the screen for us. Everybody has their own way, but here's kind of how we do it. All right, building the offense. So here's how we build our offense. We like to package stuff together. So we're going to take a run play, quick screen or pass, or a slow screen, quick screen, okay, or slow screen, okay. So we package things together to try to give our quarterback outs of different things in different situations. So if we don't have the run, we're going to have something with it, okay. So if we have the run, we're going to give the runs. We just like to give our quarterback ways to be successful, not just one option. Drop back pass with a drop back pass, all right. So we might be going cover 2 beater on one side, cover 3 on the other. Just depends on what they're giving us, and we package those together. Quick pass with a quick pass, we've done that as well. So we might have one quick game concept to the left and one to the right in a run. Wave package is what we do is we go 3 concepts packaged together. So we're going to have a run, screen, quick. So like I said, we like to give our quarterback options. We like to have bailouts, things we can do instead of him just being up there, with one concept, we're dead in the water if it's not there. All right, a little example of how we call it. So if we're in a 2x2 formation, we might call Patriot left, which is zone, okay, and we might have Hawaii to the right. So basically we've done inside zone with a quick. We're blocking on the other side. But that's kind of a little idea, give you an idea of how we package our plays and we communicate and do things like that. Again, I think it's really good, and I love where the game's going with that because, again, you give your quarterback an out. There's no just I'm dead in the water. Okay, so I got to give it. I don't have any other option. All right, but the deal is when you do these things, you got to teach your quarterback. You got to let him realize what he's looking at. Give him game-like situations in practice. That's what we do. We want our practice to be game situation. And that's what this offense allows us to do is practice like that. We're able to put our quarterback in situations that he might not get into in a game, but we want him to be ready. So that's pretty much our practices are up-tempo. We coach on the fly. We film practice, so we're able to go back and coach later. But we want our practice to be moving, just like a game. We tell our kids, if you're walking, you're wrong. So in practice, if you're wrong, you might as well be running to the next station. All right, so again, we're 100% no huddle with hand signals, multiple formations, play fast and under control. We want to play fast, but we want to be under control. That means we're not going to just play fast and out of control. We have rules. Our kids know those rules. And as long as we teach it as coaches, we feel comfortable. They know what they're doing, and we're able to play at a fast pace. All right, so we're going to move into a little bit of the scheme of it. The quarterback run game and just run game in general. We like to run a lot of power read. So basically, we don't run power read anything special to anybody else. We're going to read to 5. But what we do with our quarterback is we tell him, a lot of people will go 1, 2, 3 steps on the power read and read to 5. Okay, we're going to go 2 steps. So I'm giving him 1, 2. By those 2 steps, he better have his mind made up whether he's giving or we're going. Okay, we've found out that's been more successful than riding it 3 steps and then we get in a bind and that 5 hits us right in the mouth. So basically, what we want to do is we want to get that ball. Either we're going to give it, or we're going to get up in it. So that's what we tell him, and we've done that for the past 2 years, 3 years, and we've been very successful with it. Power read's probably been our second best play as far as just Q power. So power read, again, like I said, we don't block at anything special like anybody else. We do get good at it. We do want to rep it. We're going to work back, so we're going to double back to that mic, and we're going to pull and things like that. We block back on the 1, we're on the 3, and we're going to seal the 5. But we don't block. Like I said, we don't do it any different than anybody else. But what we do is we do rep it. We rep it till the quarterback knows it. So we go through the drill in practice where we're doing mesh drill, and that's part of mesh. We're going to mesh, and we're going to read. We're going to read a bag. We're going to read a coach, things like that. But I do like, the one thing I love about power is I'm starting with power read because it's the options off power. You got power read, you got power shove. We'll talk about all these as we go through. But again, power read's been really good for us. And I'm going to go through the presentation here, coaches, and we'll get to some film because I'm a film guy, and I like to show the film because I'm more of a visual learner. So we'll get to the film, but I'm going to go through here. So we run power read. All right, so now we're going to go power read with the jet. Again, we run the same concepts, and if you know me and you've heard me speak before and you're on Twitter with me, I talk about the rule of 4. So we use 4 base run concepts, and all we do is wind address them. Okay, if we're able to get to more one year than the other, then we will. But we want to base out of 4. But what we want to do is we want to dress it up. So here again, we're running power. We're running power read with a jet. So now I'm bringing my B-back. He's coming through. Okay, I'm going to lead up with my tailback. All right, so we're still same rules up front. Linemen are still doing the same thing. We're still going to read to 5. Okay, so we're either going to give it on the jet. If that 5 widens, all right, we're going to get up in it. If he crashes down, then we're going to give it. It's simple. We're reading off that 5. All right, so it's up to him. I tell my quarterback, when in doubt, we hand it out. Okay, so if he can't figure it out by that 2 steps, then we're going to hand it out, and we're going to live with what we get. That's the way I believe anything you do when you're reading somebody, putting a conflict player, you have to live with what that 16, 17-year-old kid, what decision he makes. Okay, so he might, and I've got a clip on here, guys, and you'll see it. He should have pulled it, and he gave it, and it's a bad clip. But again, you got to live with what he's saying. Now when we do this with the jet, we're looking for rotation. If they're rolling that safety down hard, then we're able to get up inside of it, things like that. We're looking for a lot of rotation when we run our power read with the jet. How do they rotate? Safety roll down? Do they roll back to the middle of the field? What are they doing? That's what we're looking for. All right, so the next one go off of, if we're going to, if we're talking about all the tags we got off power, the next tag we're going to go is like power shovel. I love power shovel. Again, we're going to, same rules up front, okay? So we're keeping the same rules up front. We're going to read to 5, okay? And our next deal is what we do is we tag an option with it. So my back is going to run option with my quarterback if we don't give it on the shovel. All right, so first off for the quarterback is, again, we got the same rules, except we're going to shovel it underneath. All right, the deal is we're going to read to 5. All right, so if the 5 gets wide, we're shoveling it underneath. If he crashes down, we're running option. We're pitching off the next man on the line of scrimmage. Okay, so we're looking for safety rolling down. If he's coming down hard, we're going to pitch off him. If there's nobody there, quarterback's going to pull it, and we're going to get to green grass. We teach our Z to block most dangerous. So if the corner bails, we're going to look inside for that safety rolling down hard. All right, if he doesn't, we're going to block the corner. Okay, very simple rules, but again, up front, we're not changing anything. We're still doing our same blocking scheme up front for our O-linemen. I don't want to change things up there for them. Okay, so we're going to keep it simple for them, but we're going to add tags to it to be able to dress it up and do some different things with our power game instead of just lining up and running straight power. Okay, I love power shovel. It's been around, and you can wind address it much as you want to. You can motion your Y back in, put him in an H back set, and here we go. I've even shifted down from pistol. I think I have a clip on there. I'll show you that. Shifted from pistol down with the H back and run the shovel that way and the option out the other way. But again, power shovel's been good for us. That's another tag that you can use with your power game. Matt Canada's done a lot of things with that. He dresses it up pretty well. All right, so we're going to move on in our quarterback run game and a few things that we we can do differently from year to year depending on who that Q is and what he processes. What I really like to do is I love quarterback ISO. So that's one of our good ones that we do, and we like to do it pretty much out of what I call empty when we put our tailback, or you don't have to have a true H-back. You can put your tailback down as an H-back and run this ISO concept, okay? But basically what we're going to do is on the back side of it, we're going to read that free safety or that flat defender. So if they walk that safety down, we're going to read him. If he's trying to get nosy, trying to get in on the run game, we'll read him and we'll throw the bubble out the back door on the ISO. So what I teach my quarterback is at the pre-snap anyway, I'm looking for leverage. If I've got leverage on that flat defender or that apex player right now, then we're just throw the bubble and let's go and see what we can get. Okay. If we don't, then we're going to run the Q ISO. But we call this a lot when we see them getting nosy. They want to get people more involved in the run game because they're scared of that quarterback. That's when we want to start tagging some RPO stuff to it. And that's an easy RPO. I mean, we all know bubbles, probably one of the day one RPOs that people use and things that they've been doing for a few years now. But again, simple, easy to teach. And then you can add a tight end if you want to, like we've got here. So we're covered from C gap to C gap. As far as our option game, I don't have to worry about anything. I've got everything kind of sealed up in there. All right. So again, reading that apex player, if he wants to get nosy, he wants to scream off the edge, we'll throw the bubble. If not, we're going to run the Q ISO. Okay. Another way we like to dress up the Q ISO. All right. We talk about our rule of 4 and things like that. If we're able to get to more, obviously this past year we were able to get to a little bit more. So again, we're going to bring the jet with the ISO. Okay. All right. So we're bringing jet to the front side of the play. All right. And on the back side, we're going to read that safety or that apex player, whoever's coming down, and we'll RPO, and we're going to throw it right in behind his ear hole. Okay? All right, so if teams start getting nosy, they're trying to get in the box, they're trying to get to your quarterback in the run game, find ways to RPO on that backside. All right? I mean, you can do some things on the front side, but the backside, the slant on the backside is one of the easiest ways to take advantage of what defense is giving you on that backside, especially if they want to start rolling down. A lot of times you get jet away, they're going to bring somebody off the edge on the blitz. Here's a great answer. Again, we're taking the same concept for our kids that we've been doing the whole time up front, and we've just added a tag to it. We're bringing the jet, we're throwing the RPO. That's just an answer. That's what I love about our system is we have built-in answers. And we can tag anybody at any time to do something different just to change the concept of the play inside the concept, if that makes sense, instead of having to add another play. So ISO is another good one that you can use with your quarterback. Here's another way we do it. We bring the orbit this time. All right, so they've got it walked down. They got everybody in the box. Okay, so we're going to read the end man on the line of scrimmage. Okay, so if he tries to get wide, because we can block these other two. We're numbers here. We're bringing somebody else to the party, so we can block him. So we're going to read him. If he flies out to chase the orbit, we're just going to run the Q ISO. Okay, so basically my quarterback's reading that guy right there. When he flies, I'm just going to run the ISO. If he sits and tries to get back in the box or tries to get into the box in the run game, I'm just going to throw the orbit bubble right now, and we're going to go get what we can get. Nothing fancy, just simple. It's a way to take advantage. You get more numbers to one side. And also what we'll do is, you've seen I've got the slant tagged again on it. So what we can do is when they start getting nosy, okay, he's going to come off the edge. All right, we'll throw that slant right in behind him again. That's just things that football is leverage, grass, and numbers. That's it. I mean, if you can find the numbers, you can find the grass, and if you've got leverage, or can I bring somebody in motion to the party is what I call it. If I can bring more to the party than you got, then I'm in good shape. So that's basically what we look for, and we look to motion and things like that to get those numbers. Again, simple concept for your quarterback, and your HB, you're just leading up. I mean, it's straight old ISO, good old ISO that's been around for years. We just put it in the gun and do it that way. All right, the next one we're going to talk about is quarterback ISO scheme. We just got something else tagged with it. We've tagged the bubble to the front side of it. We've been talking a little bit about all these backdoor or backside RPOs. Well, let's talk about front side RPOs. One of our best ones this year was the ISO with the bubble front side. We're going to read that flat defender or that safety walk down, however they want to align to you, but he's going to be that apex player All right, so we can block those two. We can block the other two. We're sealed up there. Okay, so we're just going to read him. He comes down into the box. He's trying to get nosy on the run. We're just going to throw the bubble right now. Okay, nothing, like I said, nothing fancy, nothing hard, complicated to teach to your kid. You just got to tell that quarterback he's reading that one guy. That's your read. Whatever he does determines what you do. Again, if you coach your kids up on this stuff, and you rep it, reps are the key. You've got to have reps in everything you do. It doesn't matter whether you're a wing tee, you're an option team, you're an air raid guy, you run mesh, you've got to rep it. It has to be repped daily. We do a lot of that in our inside period. And then we get into a perimeter period where we do the same thing. We're reading that apex guy. Again, on the backside, you can see there's nothing tagged there, but we can tag whatever we want to. If we want to go hitch, depending on what that boundary corner is giving us, or whatever field corner, whatever you want to call him, whichever way you got your formation going, you can do whatever on the backside. Slant, hitch. We've done a lot of things there too. It just depends on what the if he's above or below the hard deck on the backside of it. But again, straight old ISO that's been around for years. We're just going to run it with a quarterback. Going to lead up with that tailback. All right, so we're going to read that guy, throw the bubble front side. Real easy scheme. All right, so we talked about power read, okay? We talked about power shovel, and now we're going to talk about just straight power, okay? This has been our number one run play 2 years in a row, is just straight power. Now, the tags are great off of it. That's what makes it go. But just for the base of it, when we start, this is base power. All right, so we're going to run, basically we're going to leave the 5, we're going to kick him with our tailback. Again, we're going to double and looking to the backside. He's going to look to the backside to get there to cut off any blow through. Okay, but again, if you have a running quarterback, you have to be able to run power. I think it's the best play in football as far as saying that we're coming at you. We're not scared to run power. We're here. Here we come. That's what I believe power is. So we've invested in it. We've found ways, obviously, to take advantage of what happens when you run power. But like I said, you have to invest in it. We've invested in it. So again, we're just straight power. Here we come. Nothing fancy. We teach our quarterback, and what's really good is, I'll show you a clip too, is our quarterback realized once we started hitting that power and everybody started trying to scrape over the top to get to the power, there was a cutback lane right there. And once he figured out that cutback lane was there, it was endless. I mean, he'd cut it back and he could take it across the field as long as we're sealed up, because what they're over pursuing, trying to get to that quarterback, and if he could find that cutback lane, it was great. Now, we don't teach that. We don't teach the cutback lane, but eventually if you run it enough, they'll realize they're trying to scrape over top. I can cut it back. But again, that's all depends on if we can seal everything up and get where we need to be. But again, he found a way, and he was really good at trying to find that cutback as the season went on. All right, so how are we going to dress up just straight power, right? So we've talked about power read, we've talked about power shovel. Okay, now we're going to talk about just straight Q power. How do we influence people? Okay, all right, so here you can tell we're in the pistol. All right, so basically what I call this is pistol right flip. So I flip my 2 receivers away from my pistol back. Okay, so we're going to run Q power, but I'm going to read, again, front side RPO. I'm reading that apex player or that flat defender trying to get nosy, okay, in the run game. All right, so I'm going to push motion, okay, push motion my back out. So if he doesn't honor him, he still wants to stay in the box. I'm going to throw that right now, and we're going to get what we can get. If you can get me 4 or 5 yards, we'll take it. Again, extension of our run game, sweep. That's what bubble is to us. So basically, if he doesn't go, all right, I'm throwing it now. If he goes, we're running Q power right at it, front side. Again, nothing fancy, just straight power, but we're influencing somebody. You have to find a way, if you can get people out of the box, make them move, just try to get those numbers, and this is one of the ways we influence people. Fast motion is a great way to influence people to get them out of the box. All right, so again, here we go. We're talking Q power again. All right, so we've been talking about it. Now here's another way that we use a simple RPO tag with our Q power. We've got bubble to the backside. We've got Q power to the front side. Okay. All right, so all we're doing again is we're reading that walk down safety, depending on how they play you. People are different. They play teams different. Depends on what they want to do. but that apex or that flat defender, that's who we're reading, okay? So if he was trying to get nosy again, if they're not paying attention to him, we've got leverage on that bubble. We're going to throw it pre-snap. Tells us we're throwing the bubble right now if the leverage is there, okay? Again, get me 4 yards. If you get more, that's great. That's what we're looking for, a sweep, extension of the run game. All right, so if we don't have that leverage, he walks down, he's head up, then we're going Q power right at it. So here we're in our we're basically in kind of an empty set is what I called it this year, because I was able to take my tailback and put him down as an H-back, so we just called it empty. So the quarterback's there by himself. Great way to do it is to shift to that, line up with your tailback. Basically, you look like you're in a trio set. He's lined up, normal trio, shift him down, snap the ball. That's a great way to gain leverage right there on the power side. You know, you can shift down real quick, and if they don't bump or they stay where they're at, we've got everybody sealed up. Here we go, and then the quarterback is our +1. Okay, but again, simple RPO tag. We're giving him a way out. All right, always give him an option. So if I don't have the run, I don't like it, I've got a bubble. I can throw it out there. Just giving him a security blanket or a different way to get to where we need to be. That's what we talk about packaging plays. That right there is an easy package play. All right, so we're going to move on to quarterback counter. We've run quarterback counter a few different ways. We were privileged enough at Madison to have a very big, aggressive tailback. He was 6'2", 240. We were able to do some things. I could put him down at tight end. I could put him at H-back. Not always going to have that kid. But this is a great scheme if you've got a pretty good sized tailback, or even just a tailback that's got a little grit to him. You know, so here we're in a pistol set here. All right, so basically we're pistol flip again. So I've got him flipped away from my H-back. All right, so we're gonna push motion our tailback again. Okay. So our rules are the same as if we're in our gator set, which is our H-back set. So my H-back now is my tailback. My guard is still pulling like normal, but we have a tag to tell that tackle that he's not pulling. Okay. All right. So we give him our tag. He knows that he's staying home. Okay. So we're going to run Q counter. All right. So the push motion is what we're reading. Now we're reading that mic. All right. So first linebacker inside the box. That's who we're reading. Okay. All right. So we push motion the back. Does he fly? Okay. So if he flies, we're running Q counter. All right. So we teach our quarterback, you take a hard step like we do on sweep. So he's going to take one hard. That gives that tailback and that guard time to get through and loop around. Okay? So we're going to fall in right behind it. All right, so what we have done, though, is that quarterback is come through there, and nobody's actually followed that push motion, or he stopped in the middle of it, and we've thrown that bubble late. But, again, we don't teach it that way. That's just a quarterback making a play. But basically what we're looking for, if we don't throw that push motion now, okay, if he sits and we don't throw it now, we're normally not going to throw it. But what we're looking for is when we push motion, if no color leaves the box, then we're going to throw it. If color leaves the box, I'm running Q power right now at it. Again, you'll end up a lot of times you get your +1 in the box when they start bumping people out, when you start push motion people. And if you can throw that bubble early, that push motion bubble early, you'll get the Q counter definitely in the box as the game goes on. They'll start honoring that thing a little bit, and then you're able to do what you need to do. All right, so another way we dress up the quarterback counter. All right, we're going to come with jet. We love jet. If you can't tell already in this presentation, we love jet. All right, so we're going to do it with jet. Now this time we've added a tight end, so we've added a gap. So we're tight end wing. Okay, so that's duo right to us. All right, so we're duo right. So basically on the jet, we're going to lead up with the tailback. All right, so you're looking at this thing going, man, you should just give the jet anyway because you got numbers on the outside. True, we do have numbers. And if we do have those numbers, because we're bringing one more to the party than we got a lead blocker, we should just give it and we should be gone. That's the way it should be. All right, because we're just running a straight quarterback counter right here. We're not really reading anybody. All right, so we can tag it if we want him just to give it to the jet and not even worry about running the counter. All right, but say we don't tag it, okay, we want him to run the counter. We're still sealed up here, so basically we're going GT counter on this one. But But again, different ways to run counter. Run it with an H-back. We can run it. We can add a tight end. We can go, we can go GT counter. Just different ways. Dress it up with window dressing. Find you a jet. Go in orbit. Things like that. Push motion the tail back. Different ways to dress it up, but it's the same presentation for your kids. I mean, nothing changes up front as far as we just added a tight end, and we make the call where the right tackle knows he's pulling. Okay? All right. So nothing real complicated to that. All right, so here's one of our best plays for the past 2 years. And you're going to look at this formation and say, you got 5 receivers on one side of the field. That's correct. We do. We call this X over. So if we went the other way, it would be Z over. So all I'm doing is I'm taking my outside receiver from the left as I'm bringing him over and bringing him to the party. All right, so basically we're an empty, so we call it X over. All right, and we're going to run our sweep, basically, combo here with our bubble. Great RPO that we run. We run a lot of Q sweep RPO, and this is a way just to dress that up and get to it. Best way we've done on this formation is we've motioned to it. We've just lined up and hurry up and got in it. Best we've seen for the past 2 years has been 3 over 5 because they don't want to empty the box enough to give that quarterback his running lanes in there and be able to do things. We've turned around on the backside and ran things to the backside of it and just let the quarterback try to outrun whoever's on the backside. We've done that as well. But again, on the fly, trying to line up to this, hard to do as a D coordinator. Hard to get your kids where they need to be. So basically what we're doing, we're going to run the Q sweep. We're going to reach. We're going to try to seal the 5. All right, and then we're going to read that flat defender or that first backer sitting right there on the inside. We don't have anybody to block him, so we're wrapping around to the Sam with our guard. So we're going to read him. And what I tell the quarterback is you run until somebody stops you. If nobody stops you, you keep running. If he comes up, we're going to throw the bubble because you can tell we've got it blocked up. And one thing we do coaches, is we harp and we push that we block on the perimeter. If you're a wide receiver in my system, you will block on the perimeter or you won't play. It's just the way it is. We're going to be physical on the perimeter. We might be a spread team, but we're going to be physical in every aspect. So if you're on the perimeter, you play wide receiver for me, you're going to block. So if you don't, no block, no rock is what we say. So if you're not going to block for your buddy, then you're not going to get the ball very much. So we take pride in it. We do a drill where we hand out stickers for their helmets every week for taking pride on blocking on the perimeter. But again, real simple concept here. We're basically just trying to, we're unbalanced. It's an unbalanced concept, unbalanced formation. That's what we're trying to do. We got you unbalanced. Again, just tell your quarterback he's an athlete. You run till somebody stops you. All right, if nobody stops you, then you hit your head on the goalpost. That's basically what we tell our quarterback in this concept or any of our sweep concepts. All right, so here's another one what we do. If we catch them, all right, we run Q trap out of the same look. So we're X over. We've still got the bubble tag. We're still reading the same guy. All right, so if he tries to fly out and try to get over to that bubble and he's getting in the mix over there, we'll turn around and run Q trap basically to where there's nobody over here. I can block him up. I've got a corner who really probably doesn't want to tackle very much. So now I've got my quarterback one-on-one with that corner. And in football, that's all we can do. That's the best we can do is put you one-on-one with somebody. After that, it's your job to take care of that. But again, real simple. I'm just unbalancing. I got an unbalanced formation. I've got a bubble, so I've got an out, okay, and I've got a run. So I've got 2 things I can do. All right, so basically I've got my quarterback with 2 options, so he's not dead in the water. Obviously not going to be able to cover both over here. And a lot of times we get timeout called. Then we'll go away from it and come back to it in a motion on the fly. But again, nice little wrinkle to throw in there, formation wrinkle. I know there's some other coaches that run it. I know Coach Rice at St. John Bosco, he runs it. That's pretty much where I got it from. Great guy. He's shared a lot with me. But like I said, great formation wrinkle. Throw it in it. You can run trap. You can run sweep. You can run sweep to the boundary, to the backside of it, where they got that lonely corner sitting over there, not really wanting to get in the mix. So we use that a lot because we see that corner. He's real shy. Doesn't want to get in the mix. we'll run at him and try to make him make a play. Okay, coaches, now we're going to get into some film clips. So we're going to start out with the jet. All right, so we're going to bring the jet on power. Basically, it's power read we talked about in the presentation. We're in that empty set where I've got the tailback down as the H-back, okay? So we're going to read the 5. All right, we've noticed during the game as we run power and done some things to push motion, they're going to get wide, okay? So we're going to run it. All right, so you see how they got wide? See that big open hole right there? Because we've ran so much jet stuff, because we've ran our sweep off jet, we've ran some things to set this up. Now here they come, they're getting wide, everybody's trying to get to that jet, and now we've got an ocean to get into with our quarterback. All right, so nothing real fancy there, okay? There it comes again. Boom. Real easy. Okay, coaches, now we're going to look at another clip of the jet. They were in a 2x2 set. We got the jet coming from the left. Same concept. We're still going to read the 5, or if he gets wide, we're going to run the Q power up in it. If he stays, and we're going to give the jet. And we're going into the boundary right here. And the reason I do it into the boundary sometimes is look what I've got to the boundary there. They don't have much over there. So if we're able to give the jet or whatever we need to do, we're going to have some room to get up the sideline if we can get there. All right, so here he goes. Here it comes. He gave it, and there we go. I mean, that's just that's easy concept, easy way to read it. Okay, here it comes. There it is again. Boom. All right, so that's actually a pretty good job, because I'm going to roll it back one more time and we'll look, and you'll see if he would have pulled it, there was somebody scraping for him over the top, so we wouldn't have got much. So right there, 24 had him. He gave it. That's a pretty good read right there. All right, so again, here we go. All right. So here we come with the jet again. We're down here we're in plus territory. We're down here on about the 5. Okay, so we're coming through. Here comes the jet again. Tailback's going to lead up for the jet. We've got those 2 other guys on the outside perimeter. We've got them blocked up. So we should be good. Let's see what happens. Here he comes. All right, so we're going to stop it right here, and you can tell it looks like there might be a little bit of a hole already. So we're going to step 1, 2, here we go. Here comes my guard wrapping around. All right, so if we get in there behind him, we're good to go. Boom. All right, now it wasn't real pretty. Wasn't real pretty. My guard needs to clear that hole out, okay? So that backer's scraping across. All right, so he kind of got faked out a little bit by that backer scraping, but here we go. All right, quarterback makes a play. Best thing we can do is just get him in there, give him a chance, and that's what we did right there on that one. Okay, so there it is again, fast motion, there he goes. All right. All right, so here we go. We're going to go again. Here comes the jet. All right, so quarterback sees it. He gets in it because what? He got wide, right? He stopped. He hesitated, tried to get the jet. All right, so he hesitates. Boom, stops his feet. Quarterback runs right by him. Okay, now after that, not a good job here. We should be blowing people out of there. Okay, we should have had a pretty good lane to run in, but we stop our feet as linemen right here, 68. 74, not a very good job right there, but again, it's plus yards. We're at the high school level. We'll take it. All right, on this one right here, again, we're going to bring the jet. All right, this is a pretty good football team here in the mountains. They've won a lot of football games, and they got some good athletes. All right, so basically same deal. All right, we're reading it. Here we come. All right, so basically what we did, we started out in what we call tray. I've got a tight end up there at the top, okay, top of your screen, so we're in tray. So basically if we go tray, what that would look like is that right there, okay? So we got 3 receivers away from our tight end we call tray. All right, so basically I'm trying to bring people to the party over here to the jet. Now they've got 2 sitting out there, okay? They got 2. I got a tailback that's going to lead up. We've got normal power rules coming. All right, so here we go on that jet. Okay. Boom, nice little hole to get up in. Now quarterback dances around a little bit because I guess he couldn't figure out where he wanted to go. but then we finally get up in it. All right, and then there he goes. Again, not always pretty, but it's effective. If we can get positive yards anytime at the high school level, we'll take it. All right, so there he goes. Should have got up in it a little quicker. Not sure why he was trying to go inside, but I'm not the one trying to run it up in that trash. So, but he found the hole, finally got in it, and we got where we need to be. All right, so this one right here, I'll pause it. We're going to line up in Baylor. Baylor's our tackle over. All right, so we're going to be tackle over, just an unbalanced set. And we're going to do the same thing out of it. That's the deal. We run the same concepts out of multiple formations. We just went to dress it up a little different to make it look different to the defense, but the same concepts to our kids. All right, we'll hit play here. We're trying to get lined up. Being a little slow on this one. All right, so here we come with the jet. All right, we're in unbalanced. My tight end right here, down here at the bottom of the screen is eligible, so we have thrown basically the tight end pop pass off this as well. All right, so here he comes. We're reading it. Tailback's going to pick him. I got two guys, and here's the deal. They've got enough. They should have played this pretty well. Even if we would have gave it, they got three guys sitting there waiting for that jet. There's three guys waiting on that jet. That safety hesitates because he's come down. He hesitates a little bit, stops his feet. All right, and quarterback just turns it up in there away from him, and we're able to get in there. All right, so again, not really, sound at some parts of it there. We should do a better job of coaching, but he does a really good job of not giving the jet because there's three of them getting ready to take it. Tailback can only block one of those cats, so he does a really good job of not giving it and getting up in there with it. Can't fault him for that one. All right, so here we go. We're going to go power read again. Now this time we're going to give it to the H-back. Okay, so what we've got is what we've called H Redskin reads, what we've got going on right here. Okay, so here he comes. You're going to read it. He doesn't like it. Or actually, he doesn't like the jet. He gets up in it. Okay, so that's a pretty good job right there. So we're going to look at it one more time. Here he comes, coming around, pulling around. He could have gave the jet, but that end, he got wide, and we got up in it. And again, that's positive yards. That's 10 yards. Can't beat that at the high school level. All right, on this one, pretty much the same thing. We're going to go H, Redskin right read. All right, so he's going to read it same way as we always read it. All right, this time he's going to give it because the end crashes down, and we give it. Okay, watch the end right there. All right, so that 5, he crashes down. All right, good job of giving it out because we didn't have a running lane for the quarterback. That's a pretty good job. And watch his steps. So basically 1, 2, he knew right then he's going to give it. Okay, so 1, 2, they know by 2. A lot of people will go 3. If you go and stretch and you do some things like that, I'm okay with a 3, but we run power read, it's 2. I want you to know by that second step what you're doing. He did a really good job there of reading it and his steps and getting it out. Okay, so we'll roll it right here. Boom, here we go. Giving it out. There we go. Pretty good job there. All right, again, there it goes. Good job there. All right, the next clip we're going to look at, coaches, we're going to go power shovel right here. And you'll see what I talked about in the presentation where the film doesn't start at the right point. But basically what we're doing is we're shifting from pistol basically to like a trio set over here. But he's going to go down as that wing back. Okay. All right, so I've shifted him down. All right, same rules. Now we've got option. Okay, so we've got option going this way. Okay, so if we don't like what we got on the power shovel, we can run option and we're going to pitch off that apex or that next guy, that alley filler. Okay. All right, so here we go. He likes it. He gets wide. We're going to pitch it right underneath him. Okay. All right, not a real good job because we've got 2 linemen down there on the ground, but we still get positive yards. But again, just watching the play and watching how it's set up. All right, so we're going to read that end. He's going to get wide because he sees option. All right, now the bad part about it is my guard chases the end, which he shouldn't. He should be wrapping up inside. This was game 1, coaches. Obviously, we know how game 1 goes. There's always those little nicks that you need to fix. But here's one of them right here. All right, so he should wrap up inside. All right, but he tries to get wide with him. We still get positive gain. I mean, we're going to get 10 or 10 plus yards off this, so it's not a bad play, as far as positive gain. All right, so here we go. We're going with another M jet. Here we go, coming through, power read. I'm just going to go through these pretty quick. We've kind of got the gist of it on the power read. But not a bad job right there. He got wide. Here we go. All right, here's the one I was talking about, coaches, in the presentation about a bad read. But you've got to live with those reads when you allow your quarterback to make those reads. On this one right here, he probably should have pulled it because it looks like there's a pretty good ocean to get into. A lot of running room right here. Here he comes on the jet. Okay. All right, bad snap kind of throws it off. We all know if you're in the gun, you get a bad snap, it hurts. But here we go, snaps low. He sees it, he gives it, boom. But look at that right there. Look at that hole. That's what we want to get into. Okay, if he would have pulled it, it'd have been a touchdown. All right. So again, another bad job by the guard. He's trying to chase, but the reason he does chase, I'm assuming, is because the snap was thrown off. He didn't know the kid's just sitting there, but he should have wrapped up inside. He's going to make the tackle on the jet anyway. We should have just got up inside right there. Would have been a good play. Instead, we're negative yards. But that's what you got to live with your quarterback when he, when you're asking him to read. So you got to live with the bad mistakes. There's going to be some good ones, but occasionally there's going to be a bad one. And that was a bad one right there. Okay, now coaches, we're going to look at some quarterback ISO clips. And this one you're going to see we're running basically just your normal ISO that we looked at in the PowerPoint. Formation-wise, we've got trio. We're trio to the field, okay? And we're in stack. Basically just trying to get a different way, a different look, different presentation for how we're going to do this. You can tell in the box we've got exactly what we want in the box. They're light in the box as far as we're going to get that +1 we talk about. So here we go. We're going to roll the clip, look at it real quick. So basically I'm just telling it, we're going to ISO it just like normal, like your normal ISO. We're ISOing, so doubling, we're up, and my tailback's going to lead up on that backer. Okay? All right, so backer comes through. Here we go. Quarterback reads it right in there, found the hole, got in it. That's all you can ask for. We tell our quarterback, and I don't really tell him you've got to hit it, C gap. You got to hit it wherever. Wherever that crease ends up on the ISO is where we get in it. He does a great job right here on this one of finding it. I think he ends up hitting it pretty much around B gap, right around in that area because the backer comes through. Tailback's a little late, has to pick him up late, but again, we still got the hole, and we're up on the safety pretty quick, and that's what we want. And we're able to do that by formation and people. All right, you're going to get another clip of it right here, okay? Same game later on in the game. I'm going to speed it up a little bit for you. All right, so same game. It's later on. We're in the fourth quarter now. We just had run, I think, inside zone, if I remember correctly, for a big game, but they get called back for a penalty. So we're behind the chains. We're trying to milk the clock a little bit here, trying to get out of the game. So I just call basic Q ISO. And again, in the box, we've got the numbers we want. We're in trio stack. So we've got them formationed out here. They're trying to bring another one over to account for the stack because we found the bubble. We've done some things in that stack early in the game that's hurt them a little bit. So they're paying more attention to it. So we're able to get what we want in that box. Again, here we go. Q ISO. They come crashing down. We pick them up. And again, quarterback reads it. And he ends up hitting it again, I think, in B gap, A gap. The film's angle's kind of off a little bit. But again, what gets it is that great push right here on that double team. We're on that nose. Look at that. Now we're pushing that nose. We're pushing him into the linebackers. Okay, so here we go, pushing him in there, and we're off to the races. All right, so that's a pretty good gain, especially, that's explosive play in the run game. You can't get more explosive than that right there. All right, so we're going to take a look at another clip of the ISO here. This time we're in our Gator set, so we're in our H-back set. So it's Gator flip. All right, so we got our receivers flipped away from our Gator back, and we're just going to run Q ISO again. Again, we're able to get another one in the box. We're +1 because we're running with a quarterback, plus we got the H-back. So we get that angle right here pretty well. So basically it turns into, I'm going to lead up with my H-back, so we kind of got a double ISO thing going on here with our H-back and our tailback. Great way to get it up in there. he's just going to find that seam and get in it. Again, that's 5 or 6 yards. You can't beat that. And we'll take it every time. All right, again, so here we go. So we're H down, trio right H down. So I put the H back. So basically, I've got 4. As your defense, the coach, you're saying, well, that's quads. There's 4 people to one side. Okay, so they're thinking quads. Here we go. We bring him down. All right, same concept, coaches. We're running ISO right now, right at it. Good job by the tailback picking him up. Okay, again, quarterback slips through. 9 yards. Can't beat it. All right, here we go. So we're in empty again. I put him down. All right, we're going to go Q ISO right at it. You can tell we've got numbers right here. Okay, I've got numbers right where I want this thing to hit. Okay, because I've got 3 receivers. I got to spread out, so they're honoring it. They're evened up over there. Got numbers where I want it to hit. Okay, so here we go. We kick him out. He gets up in it. Nice little running lane right there. Again, that's 6 yards. Can't beat the 6 yards. Same thing. Okay, we're looking at the same thing, same formation. This is 2 plays later. Come back. Now we're able to hit it right where we want to hit it. Basically like C gap, could be outside. I mean, it's great. Like I said, you got numbers right there. They don't have enough people to take care of it right there. All right, guys, we're going to move along here in the presentation. We're going to go into our Q power. So this is straight quarterback power right here. Again, this is the second game of the season, so we're still working out a little bit of kinks. You're going to see our tackle, our guard, he's pulling, and he's going to chase the end a little bit where he shouldn't. He should be wrapping up inside, but we're still going to get a good gain out of this. Here he comes through. He should wrap up inside, but he doesn't. He gets wide, but we still got a nice little running lane to get up in it. Again, great job, quarterback with his eyes, playing with his eyes up, and understanding the concept of what we're trying to do. Okay, so I'm going to go through these. All right, here's a good one, and this is what I talked about, that cutback. Once he realizes there's going to be a cutback there, he'll finally realize it and he'll get in it. Again, we're trio. Over here, we're trio stack. All right, so we're going to run Q power to the trio, so we're coming at it. And watch the quarterback here. Great job. Nice kick by the tailback. We're going to wrap up inside good. He's going to notice that I've got a cutback right through there. Okay, so once he notices and realizes there's going to be a cutback in there eventually, it's definitely opens up a lot of things for him as a runner as he comes through there. Now, I don't teach this. This is a kid playing with his eyes up, and he does a real great job right there. And I'm going to bring it back and let you just see it full speed. But again, he does a great job playing with his eyes. So there he goes. He's going to cut it back, and he's off to the races. So that's going to be 6. Again, that's just a kid playing with his eyes. I don't teach the cut back off power, but once he realizes there is one when they're trying to scrape over top, it's real good. All right, so here we're in our spread set. I believe you have to have a power set, a big boy set, like a lot of teams, you can put 2 tight ends, you got all these wing backs, In a spread game, what we call hammer is our big boy set. So down here we're going to go hammer. We're going to run power right at this two sniffer backs. I've got 2 sniffers. I'm going to run power right at it. All right, so I'll just roll this pretty quick, pretty self-explanatory. We just run power. He's going to get up in it. Here we go. All right, one more time. There it comes. Wrap up inside. Follow him. Had a little trash in there on that one, but all right. So here we go. Pistol right, H down left. Here we go. Q power. Coming right at the nub right there. Okay. We got our numbers, easy to formation, to motion to formation people, to gain leverage or advantage. That's what we do here. We motion over. Nobody bumps really with him. All right, so we gain that edge right there. Here we come. Nice job with the receiver playing basketball defense right there, giving him an angle to run out. Okay, it's going to be the same thing right here, just a different clip of it. All right, same thing coming through. There's that cutback again. Okay, so you can tell he got in that cutback. All right, right there, boom, nice little cutback. Just finding, playing with his eyes. That's what we want you to do. If you're going to be a running quarterback, you got to play with your eyes up. All right, so here we are. We're in gator flip again. All right, and we're going to go Q power. Right at it. Boom, right up in there. All right, pretty good job there. All right, so this little wrinkle we use with our Q power, we didn't want to change the rules a little bit. So what we do is we've got our H back in there. Okay, we got our tail back. So we didn't want to change all the rules. So we're going to pull. We're going to bring a lot of people to this. Okay, so we're still going to pull. We're just going to pull our H back, and we're going to pull our tail back up in there. So you could call it, I mean, some people might call it fold ISO type, but we didn't want to change some of our rules. We just made a tag where we could pull our H back in power. So that's basically what we did right here. And he just pulls up. We end up getting a lot of people to the party and getting a pretty good gain out of it. All right, so here we go. We're going to go Q power right here. All right, and this is going to be perfect. Boom, kick, wrap up in, block right there. Here we go. All right, so that's an explosive run play in our offense. I mean, if we can get 6, we're on the 30. We take it all the way down for 6. We love that. We'll take another look at it here. We're going to be in what we call our trip set, so tight end with 2 receivers. We're just running Q power. Okay, goal line, here we go. Again, we're just running Q power. All right, nothing real fancy to what we're doing. All right, so here we go, scrimmage game, running Q power right there. Boom, he's up in it. There we go. All right, so back to the hammer set we talked about. One more look at that. We're just running Q power. I mean, I've got 2 sniffers. I'm bringing my guard around. You know, that's pretty much our power set in our spread offense. So not a bad job there. Okay, coaches, now we're going to take a look at the Q sweep we talked a little bit about in the presentation. This has been our #1 run play for minus power. Basically, power and Q sweep have been our run plays for the past 2 years. And I'm going to roll these clips and we'll go through them. But again, we're running pin and pull sweep is basically what we're running. We pin and pull and try to get out. We don't run a true stretch play. So we're going to try to pin and pull and do things like that. We didn't feel that our linemen were good enough to run the stretch and try to get up through there, so we just moved it to pin and pull. That worked out better for us. And we'll go through a few clips of these. All right, so here, this is what I talk about, running that thing back to that nub is what I call, or back to the boundary. A lot of times you'll get people trying to play the field and things like that. And if you've got a quarterback that's a good runner, he's a good athlete, he's got some speed and can cut that corner, this is great because I'm going to lead up with this tailback. I've got my guard coming. You know, so this gave us some good numbers right here for our pin and pull Q sweep. So again, we got good blocking on perimeter. We're up in it, and he's off to the races. Not a bad job there. Anytime we can get 6, we'll take it. Next one, we're gonna motion down to our hammer set, okay, and we're gonna run Q sweep. All right, nothing fancy. We're still doing pin and pull. We still got those 2 sniffer backs so we can get the edge and we can get around. Just a way to formation and gain leverage is what we do right here. You know, notice they don't bring nobody over. They just kind of walk down a little bit. We still got numbers, good block on the perimeter right there. We're up on safety. Okay, here it is again. The hammer set, we're pulling around. Good job on the perimeter blocking. Quarterback slips through. There we go. Off to the races. All right, here we go. We're going to bring motion with it, just wind addressing it, trying to dress it up different. Here we come. Nice job, good block right there on the perimeter. Get in the way. He's off to the races again. Okay, now, in the presentation, we talked about X over. So here's X over live in color. All right, so X over, we've got 5 on one side. All right, so notice how many they got. All right, I don't count him. He's way above the hard deck. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so they were the best team that we played all year long that lined up to this. Okay, so here we go. We're going to go on the sweep. I'm telling him we're going to read. You run until somebody stops you. Okay, so we got bubble tagged with it. Nobody stops him. He's got a running lane. He's just going to keep running. Okay, now we didn't score off of it, but we got a good chunk of yards, and that's a formation that they have to worry about for the rest of the game. Okay. So we'll look at it again. Here we go. All right, get up in it. Boom. Great job. All right, so we're going to look at Q sweep out here, and we're in 2x2 stack. Okay, so we're stacked up, and we've got kind of the now bubble screen tagged at the top of the screen with the sweep. Quarterback does a great job. The mic here, he guesses wrong. He's going to go to his left. Okay, and we're going to go to our left, if that makes sense. He's going to guess the wrong way. We've seen that a couple times on film that he kept trying to guess which way we're going to go with the quarterback. So this one we guessed right and he guessed wrong, and it was a great play for us. So you can tell they're going to bring two from the boundary. Okay, so they're bringing 2 of them from the boundary, and we're going to go to the field with the sweep. And watch, the quarterback does a great job of seeing the running lane. Again, playing with your eyes up as a mobile quarterback or a running quarterback is key. You have to play with your eyes. He does a great job playing with his eyes right here, getting up in it, and he's going to be off to the races. That's a pretty good job. I mean, you can't really teach that or coach that. I mean, he's just playing with his eyes. Now, you can tell him to play with his eyes and try to let him understand what you mean by that, but that's a great job of him playing with his eyes. All right, so here again, we're going to do the same thing. We call this kind of like a little RPO. We call it hunt. So basically, we're going to push, motion that tail back out, and we're looking for color leaving the box. Okay, so color slides out, leaves the box, and we're going to run Q sweep to the boundary right now. Okay, so that's a pretty good job. That's a great read. He's seen the color leave the box. Here he goes. I'm going to run the Q sweep. Pretty good job, first down. All right, so here we go. One more look at the Q sweep. All right. Pretty good job. I mean, it's just getting numbers. All that is we're just getting numbers. We're bringing more out there than they can block. All right, so we're in our ace set right here, so we got a tight end attached. All right, we're just able to seal right there. All right, we got help. Here we come. Quarterback just going to make a play. All right, one more out of hammer. Okay. By the way, that was a monsoon in a scrimmage game I've ever been in my life. It poured the rain for 30 minutes straight. All right, here we go. One more look. All right, so this is another scrimmage game we played in, first of the year. All right, so nothing simple, just pin and pull sweep. All right, just getting positive yards. All right, coaches, I want to thank you for taking the time to listen to my presentation. And I want to give a shout out to Chief Pigskin for letting me be a part of their great online courses. And if you have any questions, please contact me on Twitter. My email is attached to the first of the PowerPoint. And again, thank you and God bless.